first template that we got, obviously that's our bird's mouth and our plumb cut.
Look at that awesome job.
Our ridge steel is in as well, in position.
It's amazingly sunny. That's why we got the vest on. Ollie hasn't got his vest on yet though, Ollie.
Good morning guys and welcome to another day on site. It's a bit of a wet and windy one today, but you know, we'll persevere. Right, let me show you what we need to be cracking on with today. Demolition went well yesterday, got all of this down. Hopefully have the plumbers come in today so they can disconnect all of this pipe work, but we'll see. I know that lintel's coming out, so we'll probably crack on with taking that down this morning. Lintel is out, obviously wall underneath it is out, taking the block work back as far as it needs to go for now. Saved the plumber's bin and disconnected all that pipe work which was there. I'm smashing the render off the walls and it is coming off quite nicely. It's pretty tough stuff, but we're getting there. But anyway, it's 10 o'clock on a Friday. I know what that means. Fry up. I'll see you in a minute. Right then, change of plan. You know that wall that I said that I was going to take the plaster off, have a look and see how it is. We're just ripping it down to be safe. Got the go ahead from Tone. It's coming down. Just thought it's a better job done, you know. Oh God, the one on the other side wasn't really tied in properly, so for the sake of a few blocks, just think it's better to just rip it down and get out to build it back up. Al has just gone to the lockup, our little secret location. Let's go pick up a bigger breaker. He's cut along here, chopped out there with the petrol saw, ready for his block work, just to allow for, just in case we have to do anything to the floor in here. I am still, well, I say still, I've only been doing it for a little while, just moving these around. Got the pallet around the back. I like things done a certain way. I don't like things that are messy, just the way I am. So I am like perfectly stacking it all around the back, and I just got dripped on. So yeah, in a bit. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Organisation is key. Look at that. No, but in all seriousness, it's just a better job done, isn't it? A tidy site is a happy site. If you keep it all organised like this, you're going to find it much easier to find all of your stuff, find all of the bits that you need. Nothing worse than when you're on a job and it's just messy and there's stuff everywhere and you're juggling stuff around, trying to find stuff, you just end up fighting yourself. So yeah. These are Wonder Grip. They do like loads of different types of them, but these ones are the aqua ones. Keep your hands so dry. Like, we live in England, you're gonna have wet hands all the time at work. Like whether you're just like carrying these about or doing anything. It's England, everything is wet. Anyway, that is that, and what a day it has been. We've got all of our prep work done, so we are ready to come in full force on Monday morning. That's right, it is Friday today. So I'm going to go home, enjoy myself, have a beer, chill out, and yeah, we'll do it all again on Monday. Me and Ollie are just getting a little workbench set out here. We're going to be working together, just the two of us. Just the two of us. Getting all of this noggined out, and yeah, Ollie's basically going to show me the ways. Stay tuned. I'm sure something good will happen. This is how it's done. Right, that is Monday done and dusted and out the way. Noggined all this out, nogging the internal skin of that steel. Built a bit more of the roof out that way. Pete has been very busy doing all of the cuts for this, so that is extremely nice to see now.
So I have been away for a couple of days on a lovely little holiday. I say lovely, it was pretty hectic. I could do with a holiday to get over it, but anyway, obviously a lot has happened since I've been gone. We've got plenty of guys here now absolutely smashing ahead, so let me just walk you through exactly what has happened. So when I was last here, this was hi Joe. Hello. This was all still round, now it's all come down, the floor's been broken out. What we're actually going to do across here is put a 300mm cavity in all the way around. There's also going to be a 300mm wall here as well, because once we get up here, this is then going to be the outside of the dormer, like I explained previously, and it will need insulating. So rather than carrying up where we did with this wall, we can widen this now to a 300, carry that up, and then that can be fully insulated. Saves us using insulated plasterboard internally, so that's a much better job. The floor has also been broken up. Like I mentioned before, we've got some pipe work to come through here into here. So by the time we'd done that, and we'd broke around the outside as well to get this wider cavity, it made sense just to remove the concrete that was there. It wasn't the best state anyway, so that is why that has been done. So let's go upstairs and see what the boys have been getting on with. I can see lots of stuff has happened. We've got lots of timbers cut. We've got some rafters in as well. So let's see the guys and see what they've been doing. Morning, everybody.
Hey, good morning, John. How you going, man?
All right, you?
Yeah, good.
Good. So what you been doing then, Tone, while I've been away?
Well, me and Pete, actually, the guys have been working on the flat roof over there, Ollie and Joe. They've been putting all the stud working over here. Me and Pete have been working on now constructing the roof. We've been using Dan's square, which has been really invaluable, isn't it, Pete? And then what we have been doing, because there's a couple of different details, we've set up a couple of different templates. And the first template that we got, obviously that's our burst mouth and our plumb cut. So if you can imagine, that's our burst mouth, the third, and then that's the plumb cut. But then the other thing that we got, if you come over here, we got this detailing, which is basically a further extension of the burst mouth. And what this is, you'll see why we've done this and how this works, this extra piece here. So we've got this wall plate here, and then what we've then done is bolted a piece of timber to the top of this steel. That's why we've got two different burst mouth details. So we've got a nice bit of ply, and what's going to happen, this 18mm ply is good. You can see all the nice fall on this roof. We've got 18mm ply that's going to go up on all the way across here, and what happens, that then sits on there like that. The 18mm ply obviously extends, it sits on, we can then get a good mechanical fixing in. We've got this to obviously hold the ply where we're going to be running it across as well, so we can get any additional mechanical fixings in, we can. So that's nice and neat. And what happens, we've got a ridge steel then coming up here, guys. And what's going to happen is that we're going to throw these two that we've done now, we're going to throw another two rafters then up into the middle here, and then we're going to string line it across, and then we can actually position where the steel beam ridge is going to come over there. Yeah. And once we've done that, and then we can then start to obviously do the pad stains, everything we need to do, and then we can crack on with the roof and get it done, hopefully by the end of the week.
Awesome, sounds like a good plan. Hopefully. Right, so we've got our two new rafters set up here. They're just temporarily in place. Now what we're going to do is just put another two alongside that, 400mm apart. And what that gives us then is a dating point to take off. From here, we'll hold a level across the top of the two rafters into the wall. That will give us a good mark then of where the rafters are going to land against the wall, and also where our ridge is going to meet into that window up there. We are going to have to remove this window. This was part of the plan all along, was basically that window there has been reduced down to a single window. So our ridge will land somewhere about there-ish. We will find out exactly how and where it's going to land in just a minute. So we're going to get these rafters up now and then cast across, and then we'll give you a bit of an update so you know exactly where we're at. So what we've just done, we've got our rafters in across here. We've got our timber across where we used a 6 foot level on this side. Just to mark on the wall, you can just see in there. So that's where these rafters run through and meet the wall, and then the same up here as well. And then we've just pinged our line across, so this is where the roof, where the rafters will actually meet the wall there, and the guys are just doing the same over on this side as well. So that's our line where our rafters will meet, and then what we can do then from this is work out exactly where our ridge is going to land, which is approximately there. You can just see the crosshair on the bit of timber. So we're making good progress.
Look at that. Absolutely awesome job, if I do say so myself. I'm just attaching these straps, just the roof going down. I'll show you an example. That is not in the way anymore. Nice and anchored onto the wall. 3 screws in every block, so we know that this roof is never going to go anywhere. We'll keep on cracking on. I'll get the rest of these straps on. I will finish what he's doing over there. We are where we want to be, and we can start plying it out at some point soon.
Good morning guys, and welcome along to another day on site. Today, as ever, is going to be a busy one. You know us, we like to keep busy. We've got to get this timber ripped down and get it in the webbing of this steel, get this all bolted together nicely, ready to go up and in place up there. So we're going to use some of our genies, our beam lifts. They're not genies, I keep calling them genies. They're not genies, they're beam lifts. Naughty John. Hi Joe. You came around the corner at the right time. Naughty John. So we're going to use some of our beam lifts. We've got 2 of them, and we're going to use those to get this steel up into position. We're going to use then our rafter steels, get everything all pinned in nicely. We've got some plates which are hiding under here, which have got to be fabricated up today, basically just to form a wedge in between these 2 rafter steels, just to slightly widen them. I'll show you some more detail about that in a bit though. And then once that's all in place, we can get that jacked up, get it exactly where we need it to be, and then start doing the relevant brickwork around it. So we're going to do it a bit back to front just to make sure everything works really well. We're going to put the steels in and then build up to them. So it's a good way of doing it, just to make sure everything's nice and precise. Alex is in there as well, building that up continuously. He'll get all that sorted. We'll get the steel ordered today as well, because let me go and show you around here. So where the dormer is up here, this dormer is actually being moved forward and will sit on top of this wall here. So the edge of this wall will form the front face of the dormer. So we need a steel to run across from this point here over to what will be the wall. So over to here, and then that'll carry that dormer, because this dormer is coming out forward and right the way across to this wall, if you remember me saying. So Alex is going to carry on with his brickwork in here. We'll get this steel ordered up today, so that should be here within a couple of days. The guys are cracking on getting these flat roofs finished. So we've got the rest of our bolts. If you remember me saying we were missing out some bolts, they're here today, so they're going to be gotten in. And then we're going to get all this plied as well, ply sheeted, so we're getting somewhere near watertight up here. Same over on that side as well, as much as we can do, because obviously we've got to wait for this wall to be built up so we can get our rafters through. What Alex is going to do is build it to a certain point, so level with this brickwork over here, and then our rafters will just come through then and sit straight onto the brickwork, and then Alex will then fill in between, like we've had to do over here. We've had to bolt the timber to the wall because we've got a lintel under there, so we can't pocket into it. So we're going to be able to just basically pocket into the wall over there, unlike that, because obviously because the lintel's there, we can't start chopping into it because it's a lintel, and that will sort of defeat the object. Once all those rafter legs are in there, Alex can carry on, build that up to a certain height, and then he'll build it past that enough so we can get all our insulation and our resi tricks up there, up the side, and get all this roof finished off. So there's lots to do today, as always. So that's enough said, let's crack on with it and get stuff done. So what I'm doing here is basically drilling these plates out. So where we've got our ridge steels, which are like this, and like this, hopefully you can see this. We've got a little plate on the bottom of our stubs here, and then our pad stones are here, and then the pillar comes down like this. Excuse my very technical drawing. So these are all separate pieces of steel, here, here and here. So we've mocked it all together, got it all up in place, and what we found is that this stub here is actually sticking slightly past our pillars. So what we're going to do, we've got some plates here which are 6mm plates, and we've actually got a 14mm discrepancy here. So what we're going to do, where these 2 plates meet, where these 2 steels meet, sorry, we're going to get 2 of these plates here, and we're going to sandwich them either side of our ridge beam, which also fits in between here. So what that will do is basically push this apex out slightly, enough so everything runs in perfectly flush up this edge here. We're going to have about a 1mm discrepancy, a 2mm discrepancy, which we can totally live with, but by doing this it just makes everything more even and just gives us a much better finish, to be honest. So I'm just using our mag drill to make sure I get these holes perfectly where I need them to get, and then I'm going to get some red oxide paint on these, and then they can get up there and ready for our steel going in. So that's it, we've got our holes drilled in our 2 plates. They're all nice and even. If I just get them on here just so you can see, well, they're bang on basically for what I need. So what I'm going to do now is just give them a light degreasing, and then we'll get the red oxide paint, same as the steels, just to protect for any rust, and then they're ready to go in then. So putting these battens on here, and then what that does then is actually raises the timber, the face of this timber, up to the face of this of the steel. So when we come to clamp our timbers, our rafters onto it, it holds everything nicely. We can fix perfectly into there, and it's nice and solid. So we've done that on this underside. So that is like that. So what I'm doing now is just running across, drilling out these holes. Then we can get this side in,
battened in there and the timber on as well, and then flip it over, drill back through, and then we're all good to go. We'll get the bolts through, get it all clamped up nicely, and then we can get it up there. Okay, so all our coach bolts and square plate washers are through, our timbers are in both sides, so that's all bolted together nicely now, absolutely solid, and will go nowhere. The only place that is going is up there, so that is going to be one of our next missions. First of all, what we need to do is basically just tidy up the area up there, get ready, get all our beam lifts in place, get some boards on the floor, and basically make preparations for this. We've also got to remove the window, which is up there as well. That's got to be moved because of the roof, so we're going to take that window out, put a board in there so it's all sealed off nicely for clients this evening. All right, Tone.
Hey dude, here you go, man.
Sorted, mate. Just getting ready to lift this beast. So I'm up on the scaffolding and I've clocked Tony making something.
If you can imagine underneath, that's my fascia. Render's going to come to this line here. We'll make sure he puts a bead on the render line so he's got a really nice straight edge to go to. But then obviously put all the ladder system and then underneath for the soffit underneath. And then what will happen is we can get this all in lovely and level and true. And then what will happen is the fascia will come across and it will just lap into that tongue and overhang by about 15 mil. But it'll just lock together lovely, and if there's any expansion and contraction, you won't see any gaps or anything like that. It'll be absolutely perfect, guys.
Awesome, well thought through that is, mate.
Wow, just a little bit of planning.
Exactly, it makes all the difference.
So basically that's going to go there. Obviously that rafter's going to be moved.
This will be moved.
There.
And then the fascia then will slot into that.
Oh, I've just got a screw.
The face will slot into that, and then obviously in there.
Wicked. So guys, the day is done. We've got some steel in. Our gable steels are up here. Our ridge steel is in as well, in position. We've got some temporary rafters up, so this is exactly where it needs to be, basically. That is a very good job done. We've got everything clamped in place for the minute. It's just temporarily there. We've got to raise these pad stones up. We knew we needed to do some adjustment on that, so that's the height that the pad stone's got to go to. That is it, basically. We've absolutely smashed it today. Ollie's done a loader on the roof as well, Ollie and Joe have, so these roofs are nearing a finish now. There's just obviously a few bits to do over there. Alex has got up to where we need him to get up to over here, so this wall is up now, ready to take the rest of these rafters, so that is all good. So we're going to just tidy up and go home, and we'll see you in the morning. It's sunny, it's amazingly sunny, that's why we've got the vest on. Ollie hasn't got his vest on yet though. Ollie, what's going on? Where's your vest, Ollie? I think we'll just get a knife and just cut some sleeves off, make you a tank top. So order of business today is to carry on here. Alex is just getting all the block work done in between these ladders and between the rafters at the end as well. Move it over to that side now, get the rest of these rafters in to rest on that wall across there. We've got a load of insulation as well, so what we're going to do is get some batten fixed on this rafter, and then we're going to start setting out at 400 centres our remaining rafters across here. What we're going to do is basically fix a piece of batten to the top, get our insulation in, and then put the rafter up to it. So what that does then, it enables us to insulate and fit all the rafters at the same time. It's much more time effective, and it makes sure you get all your centres dead on. Insulation's in nice and tight with no gaps, because you're literally whacking everything together as you go along. It's all just one big jigsaw piece. Right guys, it's a little bit noisy, so bear with us, but I'll just give you a little update on what is going on. Tony's busy getting all the ply cut for on here. So we've got our fall set in, so where the window is here. Hi Joe, sorry I'm putting the camera at you and haven't even said hello.
How rude.
So basically our Velux window is going to sit here, and we need obviously a fall to cast water away that way and that way. We don't want it just to sit against the back of the window. So what we've got is a 10mm fall that will just take us across here, either side of the window and over there as well. So Tony's just getting these sheets cut for here, and obviously to go around the rest of it. Alex and Joe are getting the blocks and the insulation in between all our legs over there. Pete is cutting all sorts of stuff. Pete's on it, he's on it, you know what Pete's like. He's got his jig set up and everything. I'll go and show you his insulation in a second. Me and Ollie are just getting our rafters cut for across here, so this will carry the fascia board. We've obviously got this rafter coming down, and we've cut this to sit on top of that, because that's exactly where we need to be. If you remember our template, which is over there, which shows exactly where our soffit board is going to sit, allowing for the render as well. So we've got that set up nicely, so now all we've got to do is put some legs in here, same as over there, to form our ladder frame. I'll go and show you Pete on his little jig. Pete is making a mountain of insulation, so like I mentioned, that's going to go all in between the rafters so we can whack everything together as we go. Makes it just a lot easier rather than trying to whack it in with a hammer and block of wood and all that sort of stuff. You know that you're going to get that nice and tight, straight in there, no air gaps whatsoever. Let's go and see Pete, see what he's doing. Hi Pete!
How you doing, John? You're
All right, mate. So, should we see Pete in action, shall we? Shall we? I know you want to see Pete in action, I do. I like watching Peter work. So why are you cutting him in half, Pete?
Right, the reason why we do this is because we're cutting them down the length. I've worked it out that if you cut 1100, it gives you a really skinny offcut. So the reason why I'm doing this is to make it more manageable on the table saw.
So you can use it, you can do them on your own then?
Yeah, that's it, or else it's a two-man job, and obviously we want to get stuff done, so more stuff you can do on your own the better, you know what I mean?
Good man, efficient as ever, Pete, I love it.
Scar it down both sides. Happy day. Ready to go.
Sorted. Shall I leave you to get on with some work?
Yeah, if you could, that'd
Am
be
I
great.
interrupting you a little bit? Okay, bye Pete. So guys, today I made a little bit of a schoolboy error and the batteries weren't charged and they died quite early on, so you haven't really seen much footage today, but I will make it for it tomorrow. It's Friday. I'll give you full-on footage of my fry-up just so you can feel involved. Hopefully we'll get smell-o-vision so you can smell the bacon and eggs. Obviously if you're a vegan, please don't smell the smell-o-vision because, you know. Anyway, so what we've done today, the sub base of this flat roof. That flat roof over there is now ready to receive its ply. The ply has already started going on over there. We've already started to get ply on over here as well. Alex has finished the block work around to there, so he's just got a little bit more to do in here, and then that is all good. Like I mentioned as well, he's going to take like a couple of courses above so our Resi-Trix and Alli-Trix can go up that wall and we can get this finished completely. Also what we've been doing is just starting to get some of these rafters cut, get everything set exactly where it needs to be. We've lifted up our steel at this end so Alex can get our pad stones in down here. So these pad stones need to be lifted up so they're on the underside of the stub here. This is about 10 mil higher than what it needs to be, so just so Alex can get in there nice and comfortable, and then we can just slowly lower this down then on top of the pad stone. It'll have 3 days to go off, so it's cured fully. We don't want to be resting that on top of the pad stone when it's green. We're also going to drill in through these holes here into the pad stone, anchor resin those in as well, and then put a lateral strap over and down the wall to make sure there's no spread whatsoever. That's how they're designed anyway, for them not to spread, but you know how we like to do bout and braces, so we just make sure that doesn't move anywhere. What we've got as well, like I mentioned, this is all fully done now, all decked out ready. All the block work's done around the side. We've got our ladder frames in, we've got our boards to carry the fascia as well. So the ply can go on here tomorrow. This will be fully finished by the end of play tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have our collars on as well for the Velux windows to sit in. Same over that side as well, same sketch there. We've also got to get pad stone in at there, underneath here, to obviously carry this steel. So the priority tomorrow for Alex is to get these pad stones in, so then next week we can get everything dropped down into place exactly where we need it to be then. And also we need to get in some steels across here as well, because obviously we don't want all the weight spread onto these windows. These are actually coming out and going to be double doors here anyway, so it is slightly narrow in. We've got some steels to put in like I mentioned there. So yeah, that is it, another day done on site. All we've got to do is clean up now and get out of here, and we will see you in the morning. Goodbye. It is Friday, so standard, we're having a fry up, but more importantly it is the end of the week, so we've got to make sure we get lots of stuff done like we do every day. It doesn't make any difference if it's Friday, we're always busy, you know us. We've got a full house today. We've got a special cameo appearance from Will. Whee!
Happy Friday, people!
So Will is here getting everything measured up ready for the roofs, because we've got 2 flat roofs and we've got our pitch roof, so we've got multiple different materials to get ordered up and sorted out. So Will is in his element on the roof. So yes, we've got basically today to get our rafters in. We're going to get everything cut exactly where we need it to be cut, get our battens on, get our insulation in, like I've told you before, get it all basically insulated as we go. Makes our life a lot easier, so we will be doing that today. Let's go on with it. I suppose we should do some work, more working, less talking. hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give us a big thumbs up. Also, if you're not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so every time we release a new video, you will be notified. Bye everybody. See you next time.